Well, good morning. Today we return to the book of Ezekiel, chapters 43 and 44. And in these chapters we see the glory of God entering the temple, His holiness displayed in the temple. The temple, of course, is a pattern of that which is in heaven, and we see His glory in heaven. It's also a picture of His church, and God's glory is displayed in His church. And therefore there is a requirement for holiness, for those who would serve the Lord to remain holy. There has been a sacrifice for our sin. It has been laid out on the altar. The blood has been sprinkled. We are able to come into His presence. A sacrifice has been made. He goes on then to talk about the requirements of priests, and I would take this to be all believers, of course, are required to be holy unto the Lord. But then as he goes through, there are different ministries for different people. Some are called to the ministry of looking after the outer courts, and some the ministry of the inner courts. Let us be faithful people, that the Lord will welcome us into His inner courts as we worship and offer our praise to Him. This requirement of holiness in the church is clear in this passage. Here, a underlining of the Levitical laws. In our lives, a holiness that comes from inside, seeking to please the Lord and live unto Him. The glory of God in His church cannot be tainted by sin. The glory of God in His church cannot be tainted by unholy people who sin against the Lord. We must be those, if we are to be priests unto the Lord, which is the calling of every believer, then we must live a holy life, separated unto Him, separated from the things of this world, separated even to a degree from the people of this world. And what I mean by that is, while we may have friends in the world, friends who are not saved and family members who are not saved, our deepest relationships should be with those who are God's people, those who are also called to be priests unto Him. We seek the glory of God in His church. We look forward to seeing the glory of God in the fullness of time and in its fullness in heaven, of which these things are a pattern. Until then, let's live holy lives, that His glory may be seen among us and not tainted by our sin.